We finished the date, right? I'm like, okay, this went pretty well. Like, like I'm down to see him again. Why is he talking about taking me to Portugal? He's going to Portugal next week and he thinks I should come with him. Huh? What do you mean by that? And that caught me so off guard. He was like, or we could just do lunch tomorrow. I said, yeah, let's start with that. Let's talk about it at lunch tomorrow. What?
Good morning, you guys. I have a date in 1 hour. I have a date in 1 hour. It's like a chill matcha date. Little matcha moment. It's right nearby, so I'm not gonna do too much. I'll try to take y'all with me, but we all know sometimes I just get tired of it. I just get tired of the vlog. I haven't really decided what I'm wearing. But the date is at 1. It's 12 right now. Almost 12. And then after around 6 p.m., I'm going to a little surprise party for one of my friends. So I will probably come back home in between and change. Because it's like a party at like an event space. So I need to be looking cute. Yeah, I met this guy on Hinge. Real cute. We already had one little phone date. Got to know each other a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I came in here to do a time check for y'all. It's 12:20, date is in 40 minutes. And then I decided, let me just check WhatsApp and make sure everything's good. And he just texted and asked, could we actually meet at 1:30? So 30 minutes later. Normally I'd be like, what? But I'm running late too. So this will give me more time to get ready. But the problem also is if you give me too much time to be ready, I'm going to be late. Honestly, I also think maybe I'll get to the coffee spot early because that's my spot. That's my place. They know me over there. So maybe I'll get there a little early and just like, calm my nerves. I'm like this before every date. Like I'm just like, I can be a nervous Nancy sometimes. And then I lock in and just become my normal unhinged self, if that makes sense. But yeah. That's what's happening. He said, hey, Danielle, how are you? And he said, hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm running a bit late. Could we meet at 1:30 instead? And I said, sure. And yes, I'm doing well. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to keep getting dressed. Okay, we're ready. It's a cute coffee outfit. I like just jeans and some sambas. We're doing this. Gotta go. It starts in 5 minutes. So I can't. I hate the colors on this camera, so I can't even really look at myself that long. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, but waiting for the elevator. Date's in 2 minutes, but it's close, so I should be okay. He's already texting me like, where are you? I'm like, where? You're the late one, sir. You're the late one. My girls, it's been a day. It's been a day and a half. I'm gonna do a quick little debrief with you guys about today's date, and then I need to go get some food. I haven't eaten all day. I have not eaten. The only thing I've had today is that matcha with that man. So let's dig right into it on how it all went. Now, I got there before him. This is unsurprising to me. Every single date that I've been on, I have beat the man there. There is something about French people being on French time. Whatever that French time is, it's even worse than Black people time. I do not know what to tell you. It is so bad. So if you come out here and you're dating and you expect people to be on time, just don't date. They can't help themselves. The French, I don't know what it is. So I was probably sitting there for about 6 or 7 minutes, and I was late. I was 4 minutes late. I walked in at 1:34. He had already pushed the date back by 30 minutes, but he had told me ahead of time. He told me like An hour and a half before, he was like, hey, can we move the date by 30 minutes? I said, cool. So I walk in 4 minutes past thinking he was already there because he was texting me, where you at? I beat him there. I'm sitting there waiting for about 6-7 minutes. He gets there, walks in. I'm seated. I stand up. This is my first time dating someone for real taller than me. Like 6'3", 6'4". I need to go look at his profile again, but maybe even 6'5". So it was like, I was like, whoa. He bends down, we do the kissy as they do. I like that because it was real tall. He had to, it's just nice. As a tall girl, I just have not had that experience. So that was quite nice. We go over to the little iPad to order. I'm like, what do you want to order? I plug it in. I plug in my order. And then, of course, he's like, now let me pay. He wanted to make sure that I was about to pull out my card. I was not about to pull out my card. Don't you worry about that. You did not need to worry about me. Pay the lady. So I got an iced matcha. He got a regular matcha. He apparently doesn't do dairy. He says it doesn't sit well in his stomach. So I said, oh, okay. So we both had a little almond milk lattes or whatever. And it was real cute. Originally, I will say, I don't want to say I was turned off, but what I felt like at first was it felt very interviewy. Like he had so many questions. And then I realized it all started kind of coming together for me as like, he's a software engineer. Like once I put together his job and the way he was acting, I was like, oh, he's just a little bit awkward. Like he's coding all day. So like, of course, a date where you're sitting down with someone who's like, ah! Like he's just kind of like, okay, and what about this? And how do you feel about this? And what about this? And where are you from here? What about this? Like it was very regimented. And at first I was like, ooh, it feels like I'm in an interview. Like, I was talking about, really being into like French history and like doing quite a few history tours. And it was like, he was asking question after question after question after question. And I was like, dang, are you interrogating? Are you quizzing me? Like, what's going on? But then once he started talking about his job and all of that, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. So I got a lot more comfortable after I realized I wasn't being interrogated. That's just the way this man answers questions. So I enjoyed most of the date. I will say it's a coffee shop date. So it was a little bit loud around us. I do wish it could have been a little bit more intimate, like lunch, but I got to know him, where he was from. He got to know me, where I was from. I got to really understand what he's looking for. I will say, out of everyone that I have dated in Europe, this man is the most serious. This man is ready for a wife, okay? And I mean, like, the look in his eyes, I could tell. I'm saying, oh, okay. He's looking for his one. He's looking for his one. He is a year older than me. He's ready for kids. He wants two. He had a lot of questions about, my life in America, what it's like he literally said what it's like underneath the orange man, all of that. So that was one thing that I was pleasantly surprised by, or have continued to be pleasantly surprised by, is American culture very much is like ingratiated in every other culture. There's no way you don't know about what's happening in America. So we talked a lot about that, almost to the point where I was like, okay, I'm done talking about politics. Damn. Like, I don't want to talk about that man no more. But over time, like, he slowly moved away from that. We started talking about what we're wanting, why we're wanting that, what our last relationship looked like, why that ended, why Hinge, all that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it, you guys. I enjoyed it. Now, I will say his build, y'all know I like him thick. As y'all say on the internet, it's girthy. He is a little bit like thinner than I tend to go for, but I don't think that's a deal breaker at all. He just looked a little more burly to me in his photos. But that was the only thing where I was like, But everything else, hey. I felt good about it. At the end of the day, one thing I will say I also really like about almost a language barrier is they have no choice but to be extremely direct. There's no like metaphorical or any of that. They literally oftentimes don't know the exact words for what they're trying to say, so they have to be direct. So at the end of the day, he was like, I really like you. And just like straight face. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, I really like you too. And he was like, I would like he was like, I would like to take you to lunch tomorrow. Are you free? I was like, I'm free. So we are going to get food tomorrow, which I'm excited about. Get to see him again, get to learn a little bit more about him. Now, the only part that threw me off was when we were walking to the train station and he was like, he had already told me he's going out of town for Christmas, which I have now learned a lot of French people are. Like, they're wanting to go somewhere warmer. They're going on vacation during this period of time when they have a break from work. So he's going to Portugal. And as we were walking, he was like, I think you should come to Portugal with me. And I was like, y'all, I glitched. I literally, I was like, he saw me like buffering. Like I was literally like, like it was really, I just wasn't expecting that. And so I was like, okay. He was like, okay, well, why don't we just talk about it at lunch tomorrow? And I was like, okay, let's talk about it at lunch. Cause that just threw me for, I could not imagine. I'm gonna think about it. Okay, well, depending on how lunch goes tomorrow, I think that'll be my deciding factor of whether I go to Portugal with this man. That's crazy that I'm thinking about it though. Because originally, that's crazy to me. But yeah, that's how the date went. Very nice. And was also like, it's not good that he lost his phone, but he lost his phone. Y'all, even with losing his phone, the man still followed up. He dropped it in the store. This man followed up on his computer when he got home. Like, if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. Like, when the first guy that I was dating went MIA for 3 days, he was like, oh, I lost my phone. Please. This man literally lost his phone and still found a way to follow up and tell me he had a great time and he can't wait to see me when he didn't even have a phone. Tomorrow we're going to the Apple store together so he can get a new phone. Like, this is what I'm saying. The ones that are serious will act like it. Now, I'm not saying I'm finna marry this man. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm finna marry this man. But what I am saying is he's definitely currently giving intentional. And that's like, I feel like a lot more than my last couple of dates have. While the last date was like, the first date was magical and all that, the follow-up was just not there. So far, his follow-up has been great. He's planning dates while we're on the date and trying to take me out the country. That's crazy. We gonna see. And I'm gonna let y'all know. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I literally forgot to tell y'all one of the most important parts. What is wrong with me? I'm like forgetting how to girl talk. What is happening? Okay, so we kissed. Let me tell you how it went down. I made a little joke. I'm like, I'm gonna walk you, because we were at a coffee shop in my neighborhood. Like, I live 1 block away. So I was like, let me walk you to the train station. I gotta make sure you're safe. He thought he was tickled by it. Tickled, absolutely. Once he started laughing, I said, damn, got him again. Too easy. I was like, yeah, let me walk you to the train station, make sure everything looked good, need you to be safe before I drop you off. Just like that. Just straight like that. Woo! So we're walking, and honestly, he had a long walk from the station to the coffee shop. I said, damn. So it was maybe like a 12, 13 minute walk. Anything over like 8 minutes, I'm kind of like, now what's really going on? Like, no. So we finally get to the train station. We're talking the whole way. That's when he was talking about Portugal and all that. And I was like, oh. We get to the train station, and if you're familiar with metro stations in general, like it's stairs to go down. I was like, I'll drop you off right at these stairs. It looks like you're good. He was like, okay, thank you. So I look at him, he looks at me. We do the French thing, where you kiss bisous, okay? Kiss on the cheek. And I thought that was it. Like, I'm finna see him tomorrow, like all that. Then I see the eyes drop to my mouth. I'm like, oh shit. We in this bitch. Okay, look alive, ho. Look alive. So his eyes drop down to my lips, so therefore my eyes drop down to his. He takes a step closer. He's a big nigga. He's tall. So I'm like, oh, like, whoa. So he pulls me closer. Arm goes around, period. I love the logistics because I feel like the girls need to understand. At this exact point, rain starts trickling down. This starts reminding me of a previous date that I went on in America where it did not end up well with that man, but let the rain fall. You know what? So it's like God was giving me a second chance. The rain starts coming down, okay? He leans in. I look up. He's looking down at me, pulls me closer. We start kissing. Originally, it was just, kiss. It wasn't like a makeout sesh. Hello, I'm a lady. I'm a lady. Like, relax. I'm just a girl. So it's a cute little peck. And then another longer peck. And then I step away a little bit. He smiles when I pull back. And then pulls me closer. And then starts kissing me again a little bit more, passionate. It was a very good kiss. His lips were very soft. And it wasn't too much, where they're just like tonguing you down. Like, there was no tongue. It was just like very, I don't know. It was just like, it felt good. Like, it just felt good. And I feel like, it wasn't a full-blown makeout sesh, but it was like a really nice appetizer. Like, I'm excited for the date tomorrow, So yeah, that's the vibes. Now y'all have all the tea. Keep telling y'all I'm done and then I remember stuff. Last thing I'll say is I also appreciate the language barrier because it makes them, like I said, more direct. When he was just like, as we were walking, he was like, you're a beautiful woman and I want to see where this goes. And I'm like, you know what? It's nice to even just hear that. Because a lot of times I think men think they don't need to tell women that they're beautiful because they know that they're beautiful or they think they might hear it all the time, but you still need to say it. So it's very nice to hear him say that and pair that with, we finna take this somewhere, It was nice. It was very nice. So that's tea.